Well, my freshman year, I have a friend who, she'd go out to a fraternity party, she'd have a good time, drink quite a bit, dance around, meet somebody, or meet up with a friend who she thought a lot about, and was kind of interested in, and they would, hook up or whatever, and the next day she'd regret it, she wouldn't speak to them again. And this happened 5 or 6 times, and she just kept going through the same cycle, and finally she stopped doing it now, but she kind of, she lost a lot of friends that way, and didn't feel comfortable around them anymore. And
sometimes we all do things that we wouldn't normally do under the influence of alcohol. I think that goes for men as well as women.
I mean, people will go home, and maybe had they not had so much to drink, they wouldn't go home with different people. You're less on your guard. It's kind of a dangerous thing.
Well, definitely. I think people tend to loosen up when they drink, and perhaps are a lot more experimental when they drink, especially sexually. Maybe they won't know someone, but if they feel relaxed and comfortable, they might do things that they'll regret later.
And see them go home with people they wouldn't have gone home with if they were sober.
I think alcohol is an aphrodisiac in some cases because it allows people to just do things that they normally wouldn't do.
We were at a bar, and she had a tendency to pick up guys, and so she picked up 2 guys, and we ended up going off with them. And I think if I had not been intoxicated, I probably wouldn't have gone with them, and nothing major happened. We just ended up sort of kissing, but it was one of those things that I don't regret or think was a horrible thing, but it's one of those things that I probably wouldn't have done if I had not been drinking.
And people become more open, they lose their inhibitions. Sometimes it makes the nights more exciting, the people start dancing together and everybody's getting pretty close, getting pretty comfortable. Sometimes, however, with my female friends especially, they don't realize how much different they are, and they send really confusing signals to other people, and they get involved in situations that they regret later.
Everybody knows that alcohol impairs your judgment, and so the thing is, like, maybe you're definitely more free to do what you think of doing rather than, being like, oh my God, I couldn't do that. That's, like you lose that sense of, I don't know, what's appropriate. And you also, like, lose a little bit of the fear you have of, like, doing things and being seen by other people. You just forget and you just relax. And I don't know, I really don't like that. I think that's something that you should be a little bit more concerned about, a little bit more aware of, like, who you're doing what with. And I think that, like, I don't, like, not to say that I haven't, like, made my own mistakes, but I don't think that random hookups are really the way to relax on a weekend.
There are definitely people who regret what they did. And that regret is something you can't change, something you can't erase.
Yes, I have seen people, once they've gotten tipsy, be extremely flirtatious. Yes, I have seen that.